Hi, morning, and thanks for joining the session today. We're looking at covering, the learning outcome 4, which is in continuation with the unit that we're studying, which is marketing principles and technique. Now, as I mentioned to you earlier, this is an exciting module to study because we see the application of this particular module today across all sectors or all activities that you do on a day-to-day basis. Now, if I just do a brief recap in terms of what we've covered so far in this particular unit, and if I look at the unit spec, which is on the left-hand side, we've covered basic principles of marketing, which basically looks at what kind of diverse activities marketing departments carry out, things like research, sales, promotions, business development, and how does the company look at doing segmentation? Why is segmentation important? So you looked at and we looked at understanding the 4 different types of segmentation: psychographic, demographic, and these behavioral, attitudinal. We looked at these segmentations because the companies are looking at positioning the right products to the right set of consumers, which allows them to make optimal use of marketing resources. We looked at the marketing mix. Initially, it was the 4 Ps introduced by Jerome, and then it was expanded to 7 Ps, and today we also have 9 Ps. Now, with this, we looked at going into learning outcome 2, wherein the application of the marketing mix was done for the merit activity, and then for the distinction, we needed to look at how the marketing mix has been applied by a particular company, say, for example, Tesco or Apple, towards the iPhone, and then look at how decision making happens when that marketing mix has been applied. In learning outcome 2, we looked at one of the key functions of marketing department, which they look at, which is to understand what is research, why research is done, different types of research, things like primary, secondary, tertiary research. What are the research tools which companies use? How do they conduct these research and gather data or information and feedback, from consumers? And then what are the tools and techniques, which are used to gather and analyze this data? So we looked at qualitative, quantitative methods of research. We looked at tools and techniques like data forms. We looked at surveys. We looked at questionnaires, interviews, and some of the online techniques which today companies use, to gather this data. Now, in learning outcome 3, we took that step and we tried to apply some of these research techniques to a particular product, and so the idea was to try and understand how research is conducted, which was done in learning outcome 2, and then apply it to a particular product or a company to see where and how this research research technique, a particular type of research technique is applied. And then we looked at doing the interpretation of findings to understand, how the research has helped, say, for example, reorient or target the customer more effectively, and means the company is actually spending the right amount of money to be able to ensure that it is able to provide the right kind of offering to the customers. So here, the example that we took was that if you're looking at buying a car and you have a certain budget, when you go to a sales, a dealership, the salesperson there at the dealership starts off by asking some basic questions. And these are more or less interrogatory questions to try and understand what is your budget, what is your preference, what do you have in mind in terms of, are you buying a car, are you replacing a car, are you a buyer? And these kind of questions help the salesman to basically then zero in on a particular product or a product which they feel, when I say product, it's a car or a model of the car which they feel is going to be more suitable for you, to look at purchasing. And here again, the decision based on the data the salesman is actually, collecting from you by asking you a lot of questions. Now, in learning outcome 4, we are going to be looking at understanding one of the most important concepts of our times, which is e-marketing. E-marketing has become an integral part of any marketing department. So we do different type of, activities to reach out to customers. There are activities like ATL, which is above the line. We have BTL, which is below the line. And because internet has become quite an important medium in the last 30 years, what we do generally see is that a lot of companies are using the internet medium to reach out to consumers. And there are various advantages of doing this. So a deck of slides, which I'm going to go through, but not all the slides today in the presentation, because The idea is to look at covering the key aspects of learning outcome 4, which is to understand what is e-marketing, differentiate it to a certain extent with digital marketing, which is a term which we use, and how do companies actually market their products and services using the concept of e-marketing. So how do companies sell their products online in general? And then how do they manage their image online, their brand online, the presence online? And then to a certain extent, we will compare towards the end the e-marketing techniques with traditional marketing techniques, which are things like when you do a flyer, a TV advert, a radio advert, when you do a billboard, or when you do road shows and events. These are traditional mediums of marketing which companies use to reach out to consumers. And we will do a bit of a comparison or benefit analysis with regards to how e-marketing is pegging up the traditional mediums of marketing. And the distinction activity will actually focus on you having to evaluate the measures which the company need to take in order to manage their image online. So here we're going to be looking at the case study of Facebook, because Facebook has been in the news in the last months for a number of reasons. And it will be a good example for us to take up Facebook because as a company, they are looking at trying to manage their image after the scandal, and the data was leaked by Analytica, which was one of the firms that the company took over, and then meddling with elections in the US and things like that, which has taunted Facebook's image, and how Facebook is now trying to manage its image online by looking at tackling fake news and things like that. So, what things that we are going to cover in Learning Outcome 4. And my presentation and obviously the slides that we are going to go through will look at covering the indicators that will require to meet all the assessment criteria, the the Learning Outcome 4 general understanding that you need to have. So let's start off with these slides, and let's start off by looking at taking up the definitions of key terms that we are going to be coming across time and again when we look at studying Learning Outcome 4. So the first term that we look at is what is e-marketing. So we need to understand the definition of e-marketing and why this has become a prominent tool for companies to use it in their let's put it this way, to use it in their practice to reach out to consumers. Now, e-marketing, the definition of it says it's a process of marketing a product or a service using the internet. So the E stands for, I would say the internet side of things, which you are looking at in terms of any activity which is done using internet, things like email, like video, things like, you will also look at things like banners and ads which are done online. Those are things which are in the remit of something e-marketing. So e-marketing not only includes marketing on the internet, but also includes marketing done via various channels which use the internet as a medium, things like email, wireless media. You look at video on YouTube, and these are used as mediums to reach out to consumers, and the whole process is called e-marketing. And once we have covered this definition, let's look at briefly understanding. Now it's very difficult to capture that in one paragraph, but let's understand what are its benefits. One of the clear benefits that I think of is you can set up a website, you can start promoting the website. The cost of doing promotions online is far less cheaper than when you have to hire a venue or hire a billboard and plan a media campaign, because that would require more money. So one of the things that we do see is that one of the benefits of e-marketing is that it is instant. So you upload something on the internet and it goes live. But if you have to do it on ground, if you have to create a billboard, then you have to look at finalizing the design. Once the design is done, it has to be printed out in the media. Once the media is printed out, it then goes on to the billboard signage, and then it has to be installed. And after the installation, then it becomes visible. So there's a tremendous amount of benefit in terms of time to market when we look at techniques or promotions which are done using e-marketing. The other is obviously cost, and the third is you have the ability to be able to look at changing that message frequently, because it can be done all electronically. So here we do see that e-marketing is becoming the norm. It is exceeded already in terms of the media spends which are on the traditional mediums, and e-marketing has become and the channels that we will study in the subsequent slides will give us a clear idea in terms of why this has become the most important medium of reaching out to consumers. Now, there are different types of e-marketing. I don't know whether you've come across this or not, but when we look at different types of e-marketing, there are 7 different types. So when we say we are offline marketing, which is basically, when I say offline means other mediums of marketing which are not involving internet. So offline marketing would include things like when you advertise on radio, television, you look at phone advertising, and when you look at billboards, events, those kind of things. Now, when I say online marketing would typically include things like search engine optimization, pay-per-click, search engine marketing, placement of banners, leaderboards, and those kind of concepts which will come in, which are different types of properties used on a website, wherein online marketing typically can take place. So it also needs property or an estate on which this can be done. So if I have to just open, say for example, a website, I would MEN, for example, Manchester News, and if I open this website up, you'll be able to see that on the website itself there are different areas which are created, which are called, which the advertising can be done. If I look at accepting on the website, what you will see is on the home page, there are certain places on which adverts be put in. So this area, as you can see, where you see the advert, the video playing, is a leaderboard or a property. On the left hand side, again, this is a property, and on this side again, where it says RT offers, is again a property. As you can see, there are different types of areas designated on the website which will allow you to do different types of marketing, and this is called advertising. In cases, you will see this is a big page, it's on and on and on, and if I click onto any particular news, and when I look at news again, you see that the big page is getting created. Here the advert will get positioned, and this is again aligned. You see the background banner, as you can see in the background, and this will allow advertising to happen on an online mode. You see small banners here which are displayed as adverts. Again, there's an advert here, and these are all types of properties through which online marketing can be done. Now, let's understand the difference between digital marketing and marketing. Now, digital marketing refers to the use of digital channels, which is device and forms. This is the fact whether they are online or offline. So I'll give you an example. Today, you look at billboards. If I just give you an example of, say, billboards, and we look at billboards advertising, there are 2 different types that we can look at. So just go on to the images. Now, if you see this kind of a billboard, wherein there is a banner and it is permanently fixed, which means the message cannot be changed, this is an example of offline digital marketing. So this is a digital print banner which has been printed. It looks quite nice. There are images, sharp messages, and this allows the advertising to happen. Now, if I again look at a billboard, and in that billboard, if I see electronic signage, that means it can be changed. It's like a screen which you can change. Messages can change. So if I look at this particular screen, as you see here, this screen, there are different types of messages, and these messages actually change. So this kind of signboard, which has dynamic element of it in terms of advertising, is that the board is digital in the nature. That means it's like a television. It is a screen which can change, the messages. You have the ability to be able to serve different messages. Would that be becoming a, example of online digital marketing? Now, in order to build and promote messages, obviously you use digital marketing, and some of these signages, can be dynamic in nature, and some of them be off. That means they have a canvas or a print which has been put on, and it cannot be changed. It is static, and that does not change. So the difference in digital marketing means digital marketing refers to the use of digital billboards, but it is electronic billboards. Sometimes you see football matches, and the football matches, bound the field, the digital signage, and those signages, they keep changing. So that is the use of digital marketing, which can help display, instantly change the message. But the channels being used and the devices and the platforms are being used wherein it allows you to serve dynamic content, not static content. And that will be how it will be called digital marketing. So when you use, say, for example, an iPhone or an Android phone, and you're browsing a page and there is some advert which serves, small banner advert which comes onto your phone. that is a form which is considered as digital marketing. Now, let's look at dwelling into some other key terminologies just for an overall understanding. Now, how do we look at e-marketing and what are the strategies of e-marketing? So when we look at companies taking up e-marketing strategies, they look at, strategies which are going to be built on online channels. So when I look at online, the first thing which comes to your mind is, it is the website. So when you look at website, the vibrancy of the website, the color combination, the way the information is displayed, what kind of, features it will capture, what kind of interaction it will allow you to do is all related to e-marketing strategies which the companies develop to bolster their or make their online presence stronger. So when you look at our website, for example, if you take an example of UK University in particular, and if we look at where our strategy, what is our strategy in this particular marketing, when we look at, on the website, the first thing to look at is that on the website, try to put a lot of information. Some part of that information is dynamic. That means it keeps changing as you scroll and go through the website. So, for example, if the website, the main banner, the website displays different messages. Now, if you click on the website, it is able to capture clicks and understand where you are going, how you're actually surfing the website, what are the areas that you're interested in when you look at the website. And there are some contents that we've used in terms of YouTube video. There's a clock timer which is actually going. There's a form to capture some information. Then obviously there are sound bites which primarily allow you to fill up and interact with the form. So here, if I click on the enroll form, it will allow you to actually put some information in, which is going to be on the website. There is a chat option. If you wish to chat to one of us, advisors regarding admission, then there's an option for you to be able to do the chat. And this again, is going to be something which allows you to, pick up information visually to, let's put it this way, to a particular course. Here is the CIP, and then you start engaging on the website. So different start by looking at building trust. Here we had an option wherein it was asking you to subscribe, and the idea look at taking input, gathering data, and all this is utilized by the company to actually look at reaching out to you with the product or service that you are support. Now, what are examples of digital marketing? I think it should be quite clear now when I'm saying digital marketing are things like it's a broader term and it's a bigger term which cover things like when you're dealing with digital media, like websites, banner advertising, YouTube website. When you look at that, all look at digital marketing because here you're using the digital devices and the platforms to be able to communicate message across to the consumer. So look at things like search engine automation, search engine marketing, content marketing, influencer marketing. These are all individual terms which marketing techniques in on the online is for you to be able to interact, disseminate, capture data or information on the basis of which marketers actually take decisions. So here it would be to understand that this is an example of digital marketing. When we talk about content marketing, that means when you write about that is an opinion, or that is a piece, opinion piece that you are putting out as an article for the student and engage with you. Look at tweeting something on paste, not word paste, but when you post something on Facebook, for example, you're looking at interacting with your followers, and that's using social media marketing. When you send out emails on marketing or newsletters, especially, that will be constituting as something called e-marketing. Now, with this broad overview, let's get getting into understanding some of the key assessment criteria with regards to learning outcome. Now, when we look at online and when we look at e-marketing, there's direct and online marketing. Now, they are done primarily to build that relationship. That is to say that if you get hold of an email, sometimes you see when you go to the malls or shopping centers, there are companies which give you a survey form to ask you if you like the product. you want some more details about the product in the post, email, or via phone, then we're trying to collect details from you to be able to cross information to you for that product, should you be interested. And when we look at those kind of things which are happening in terms of activities, some of them which are going to be sent across to you through the online route, email route, or using your internet route, they will be channels which will relate to direct and online marketing activities. So here the idea would be, from a company's perspective, they want to get in touch, they want to build their reputation, or provide information to you about the products and services which the company actually sells. The direct marketing model, what tends to happen is that the company is going to go to you directly. They are not going to go through any intermediary. And that an example is called DT, direct to consumer. And direct to consumer is a type of marketing in which the company will reach out to the consumer directly. An example here is that when you look at Pizza Hut, now Pizza Hut has franchises. And if you have to order a pizza, you have to order at one of the franchise outlets, and they will deliver the pizza to you. So they have an intermediary in the middle. The company does the advertising, but the product delivery, the serviceability of the order is done by one of the outlets of Pizza Hut. Now imagine if you are buying something on Amazon and you go to the Amazon store and you buy something from there, selling that product to you directly. Amazon is selling that to you. Amazon has a lot of resellers and a lot of other shops on the online store. So if you're buying it from a store and you place an order on Amazon, you're directly dealing with the vendor of the product, and they are selling it to you directly. So this is an example of direct marketing model when we look at companies reaching out to the consumer directly without going through an intermediary. An example otherwise would be, if through an intermediary, would be that if you, say, for example, order tires for your company. Now there are lots of tire manufacturing companies like Michelin Tires, Continental, things like that. Now if to tires, don't go to the factory directly of Michelin to buy this. What Michelin does is it has distributors or intermediaries who will be stocking and selling these products to consumers. So you go to the outlets like Costco, and that is where you buy the tires which will be fitted onto your car. So in an intermediary in the middle, or in the middle like distributor, who's going to be selling the products to you. A lot of benefits of direct marketing, because one, it gives you convenience, it gives access to products. There are obviously online, if you are doing this online, you will be able to compare products and services, because online channel allows you to compare up to 3, some cases 5 products. And the other bit is that when you buy something online, it is interactive and it's quite immediate. That means you can decide, just go onto Amazon right now, and if I give you an example of how quick and easy to buy things online, is that when you launch Amazon as a website, when you're on it, you are able to interact with the product, you see the product. If you like a particular product, like the Alexa speaker example, you're able to do it from different angles. You can expand, magnify the image, read the feature, and then decide there and then if you want to buy, this particular product. So if I look at, yes, I like it, and I want to click on this, and I want to buy it, straight away you sign in, you place the order, and the product comes to you. So as you can see, it's interactive, it's quite immediate, and also it is sold by the company to the consumer. Now, there are some benefits when they look at doing away with direct marketing. Intermediaries are done away with. Could be that the company is able to build relationship with the customer on one-on-one basis. Second, they can reduce costs because of they do not need to pay any commissions, or any margins need to be split, with intermediaries like distributors, retailers, when they are selling it through, to the customer directly. And last but not least, sometimes the element of flexibility also is included, because in this case, the information can go directly to the decision maker, and the decision maker can then quickly take a decision to buy or not to buy them. The most important benefit with the companies is they are able to build database of the customers. That means establish a direct contact with the customer. Now the other thing is, because if you're buying, Internet is also able to capture a lot of information. You can browse the cookie, for example, on every website, and it is able to capture information like where are you based, what is the location, how frequent buy, what kind of product buying, and then can tailor their offerings in newsletters, other communications to ensure that this is suiting meeting your criteria in terms of buying that you do online. For different forms of direct marketing, we're looking at one of the forms which is personalized direct selling. That means when you receive an email, from Amazon, say for example, I have email, and if I just look at logging into every morning, they send you an email, and this email, when it comes through, will recommend me some products that will be, either something that I've already searched and I've not bought, and they will be basically personalized to say, okay, you went on to see the product, but you haven't bought it. Would you like to buy it now? Now, direct marketing will also involve direct emailing, which is another example of saying that Amazon sends me an email every day, and the reason of sending this email every day is primarily to ensure that the products, products which I'm looking at buying, are all, a subtle reminder. They're basically sending to say, okay, this is something you could buy, this is something that you could look at, and in those cases, they will basically reach out to you directly. So this is an example of something online, and as you see, it allows me to track the package, and they're sending personalized information across via email. Now, direct marketing can also be offline, and that could be catalog marketing, telephone marketing, kiosk marketing, anything which is going to be digital, which you can interact with. So if you go to a shopping mall, you have a large screen on which you can touch and interact and buy things or look at for information. Those are called kiosk marketing. I don't know how many of you have understood, and sometimes when you get to see telemarketing or TV marketing, which is channels which basically sell, companies basically use the television channels to do marketing, and that is called direct response television marketing. So when you look at companies like Amway, a lot of other companies which actually sell products directly to consumers, but they use television as a medium to reach out, to say consumers. And when I look at that, so when you look at direct TV marketing, here you will see that in some cases, it is called the direct response television marketing, which basically companies use to sell products on the TV. So if a company is selling products on TV, and this will straight away come up with the term DIB, or companies selling products to you via the TV business using television advertising channel. Here, this, say for example, this is one example of Ideal Shopping Direct, which is a television network. It brings a lot of airtime from different channels, and they basically sell the product in television. So they will interact, show you the product, do a bit of demo, and then basically, sell their products to you from TV. So they have a TV called Ideal World, which is on Sky, for example. If I launch their website, you'll see that they are trying to sell to consumers by showing the products on the TV, and this is direct to TV marketing. Now, there are different types, and what I've done is I have basically elaborated them on individual slides just for you to be able to differentiate. So it will be good to go through some slides and have understanding in terms of what is between personalized direct selling, direct email, catalog selling, telephone selling, direct response television selling, and what are the advantages, benefits of doing that. And that is what I've explained to you, in some of the slides. Now, when we look at let's go to the other side. When we look at the online side of things, you will look at direct marketing can also happen using internet as a medium, and digital forms or devices. They would be classed as podcasts, or interactive TV advertising, which is done through the online. So if I now, this was an example of Ideal TV actually using television to sell these products. But if I go to on YouTube now, and I found YouTube, if I basically try and find TV channels which have a channel on YouTube, and they are trying to sell and position their services. So, for example, companies selling products via YouTube channels. So here, if I do a quick, different types of things, what we get to see is there are lots of users who are actually using, YouTube as a channel to sell their products and services. So here is an example of how you will generally see that, companies use online kind of things, which is the signs, using digital, medium to be able to sell products and services to you directly. Now, let's look at online marketing, going back to e-marketing, online marketing. So online marketing uses internet as a channel. So here, the key medium through which this e-marketing can happen is that you need to have internet. You need to be able to have a medium through which this communication happen, and that communication medium is internet. Now, when I look at internet, sometimes you will see that there are different types of classification in terms of how you reach out to customer. So when we look at that, we look at 4 different types. When businesses are directly selling to consumer, it is called B2C. When selling to businesses, it is called B2B. When consumers are selling to consumers, then it is C2C. When consumers are selling to business, it's C2B. Now, on YouTube itself, you will be able to see that there are some people who are selling their products and services directly to other consumers, and that is an example of C2C. Now, there will be some customers here who are trying to sell their services to businesses. Things like, I have a website for you, or I can optimize your website for you. Here, the individual is actually offering the SEO services to a business, and that is why it will be called B2B. So these are differentiations in terms of how you reach out to customer will classify the type of online marketing that is currently happening. So in a couple of slides, just very briefly, B2C involves selling goods and services to customers directly. B2B involves selling of goods and services by providing information to businesses directly. And then again, C2C, consumers selling to consumers directly. And this would be an example of when we do it online would be through blogs. You look at Groupon, in Groupon, the company Google, which owns the, brand Groupon, what they do is Groupon, I don't know whether you heard of it or not, but this is a company which provides voucher deals to consumers. So when you look at Groupon is owned by Google, and what they do is they negotiate deals with a lot of different companies and then provide these coupons to customers as a bit of benefit. So what they do is, how do they make money? They're making money by looking at advertising, sending out emails, collecting consumer data about preferences, and they ask you to sign on to the website. As you can see, if I just refresh it, the first pop-up it came was to say that you want to subscribe to Groupon. So when you look at this involves the channel which is called online marketing. Now, there are different types of websites that you can set up to do online marketing. One is cooperative website, the other is marketing website. Now, is this an example of corporate marketing website? So this is an example of marketing website. Now, if I look at corporate website, I can go to, say, a company website like Microsoft. And when I look at Microsoft's website, this is designed for businesses. It is designed to give out information about its products and services. And this is something which is designed for businesses. As you can see, there are no direct offers which are coming to you. Microsoft is not looking at directly selling to you any product. But if I look at Groupon's website, it is looking at directly giving or selling products. So look at, if you're looking at buying a cinema tickets, you can buy cinema tickets to, for £10. So looking at eating out, there's a bit of a discount on Chiquitos. Usual price is much, but if you go in and you use this coupon by clicking on this, what you're looking at doing is a meal to would cost you, half the price as compared to, you're trying to sell. So differences between corporate and marketing website is what you need to understand. That marketing website with messages, offers, promotions, which try and give discount deals to be able to position that directly to you. Corporate website will be more information, more of, information related to their products and services. They are trying to basically build goodwill, also supplement information which some customers require through the need, things like brochures or buyers, or in some cases informed out, updated about news, information, or events, upcoming events. So in this case, for example, if you look at Microsoft, Microsoft is introducing a new Xbox, and they would then give you information on here in terms of when is the new game coming out, when is the new. So this is to build excitement. So there's a difference in terms of how these marketing websites and corporate websites are trying to provide information and then attract consumers, with regards to the message across. Now, there are some bits which I've covered which you need to go through. So in terms of, there are 7 C's in communication. We have 7 C's. Designing effective website, which include things like you should have good content, you should have some context to that content, you have to have a following or a community, you have to customize. When I say customization means if Microsoft's website is being opened up in Middle East or in any other country, then in those cases, customization would mean that you could translate the website into your local language, and then the messaging which has been done, the copy could be communicated into a particular language which you are browsing the website in or using the website. And then you have other things like how do you communicate? Is there a direct communication? Are you positioning the offers directly? Are you trying to establish a connection? So like when they box to subscribe and things like that, the company is trying to ask you to subscribe, the connection with you. And if they're selling from the website directly, then it will involve something called e-commerce, or the section of the website which allows transaction of buying and selling, or selling of products and services to happen, where they can collect money, would be the commerce side of things. So some of the slides detail out now the different types of online marketing which is done. So placing of adverts, display ads, search ads, classified ads, banner advertisements, interstitials, pop-ups, rich media animation. So when we looked at some of the websites, like when we look at the MEN website, as you can see, this is, you have leaderboard banners, you have pop-up banners, and in some cases, when I go onto the homepage of the website, you saw an interactive rich media, which was video of the video of Audi, playing on the top banner, and that was rich media being used, which is basically video and dynamic content being used to send a message across to the consumer. So different types of things get done when you look at online marketing. Now, if we look at getting a bit more detail, we'll see that when we look at online marketing, so let this banner load, and in this case, what you also see that sites work with other websites, they build alliances, they build partnerships, sometimes they build programs, and these programs are there or sites operated by will try and promote the same message across the various platforms. So if you click on one website, you close it, it'll direct you to the similar company website, and the idea there would be to do within the when you're on their platform rather than way to a different site. So different types of online marketing has been explained, and one of the things that I would look at picking up would be emails that we are clearly aware of, that we send out a lot of emails. These emails, newsletters can have banners, pictures, images, videos. They tend to give out message or information about a product or a service. Sometimes when you receive emails and you receive unsolicited emails, that means unwanted emails, they can go into your spam and junk folder. So depending on the if you think that this is an email you do not want, do not subscribe, on the email clients, what you can do is you can go in on a particular email and you can mark it as spam, and that would mean this message, if I report this as spam, next time this message comes, it'll go into my junk folder, and this is an unsolicited or an unrequired email, unwanted email which is coming to me, and they have not given me permission. The other thing that you also do is when you go on different websites ask you to permission. So if I look at our website, for example, UK Versity, the first thing when you log into the website, it'll ask you to do is accept and allow cookies. That means it'll ask you for a permission to collect data browser, which would be things like where are you visiting from, and it has some basic details which web page or your browser is able to provide to the website when you are trying to browse it. And that would mean, if I in a second or so, we can clearly say, at some can I collect this data from from when you are browsing the web page. Now, there are different types of issues that we want to look at specifically in the case of assessment criteria in terms of how you manage your image online when the companies look at it. So companies have to be fair to collect information because in some cases, like specifically with Facebook, I mentioned earlier that we were speaking about, Facebook has been for a number of reasons in the last few months, is that it collects a lot of data about customers, and that data then is in some cases sold to third-party companies for marketing purposes. Now, this can create a situation where you don't want your data to be shared. If the data is being shared, has the permission been taken, and can that data lead to some sort of deception or fraud, by usage when it is used by third-party companies. So privacy and security are most important aspects of when we look at online marketing. So here, companies need to respect online privacy. They need to respect privacy when you are browsing their website online. And if they need to share any data, they need to take permission to be able to share that data with third-party companies. Because when we look at Facebook, when you are on Facebook and you sign in, you create an account, they keep the information, but that information is also then passed and shared with third-party companies in order for them to look at using that, data, which is things like your age, your demographic data, things which you will posted on the website, to send messages to you, to send, advertising messages to you through the online route. And that is where the companies look at, the concept of, looking at the concept of privacy and security. Now, last but not the least, when we look at, there are lots of concerns, which users have when they look at, doing or providing data online. And there are lots of standards which have come up over the years which allow, to install some softwares which then can prevent your data being stolen, your data being misused by companies. And in those cases, there are different forums which have got created. So there is a forum called Can Spam, which is a company which basically, if you sign up, or report that this company is looking at sending you unsolicited emails, they can take action against that. There's a logo called Trustee, which basically ensures on certain websites that these websites do not collect data, or if they collect data, they manage it responsibility, and that data is not sold to third-party companies. Specifically with children online, there is a forum which has been created, which is called Children Online Privacy Protection Act, COPPA. And this act, allows children to be protected from marketing websites, because in those cases, what you see is that this data from the users, which are under the age of 13, should not be utilized by marketing companies to target them for product, placements, or, for selling any type of products and services. So with this presentation, what we've tried to cover today is basically looking at what is e-marketing, what are the main channels of e-marketing, differences between e and digital marketing, why they are termed, these terms are used interchangeably, what are the methods through which companies look at e-marketing, things like website, things like YouTube channel, video, and all that. And then we also look at how companies manage their image and why data security or privacy is quite important, and what are the agencies or, law or legislation which has been created in order for that data to be managed, and managed safely, so that the companies which are trying to reach out to consumers online respect security and privacy of the individuals when they look at, collecting data when the consumers are actually on their website. So with this, I'm going to also send you a small bit of handout, and that handout is going to be focused on the Facebook case study, talking to you about, in terms of how companies manage their image online and what steps they need to take in order to manage their image online. So with this, we'll come to the end of unit, this particular unit, which is marketing principles and practice. And I would encourage you now to start looking at doing the assignment, which consists of, some activities. And if I just briefly bring that up right now, closing a couple of slides. So if I just briefly bring that up, that would be the set of activities I would suggest that you need to look at now getting into, so that you're able to, submit the assignment in, I would say, the next 2 weeks. So if I just bring that up. So the assignment will basically correspond to the 4 learning outcomes which are there. And when we look at these 4 learning outcomes, so, it consists of some activities. There's given you a bit of a scenario here that you're running a family business and you are looking at now, looking at the concept of marketing, and with the usage of the concept of marketing, you've been asked to attempt these activities. So task 1, 2, 3, 4. Task 1 basically involves, you talking about the learning outcome 1, which is types of marketing activities, why it is required, segmentation, and the marketing mix. Task 2 will basically focus on, presenting a small bit of research in terms of how you would do a research, why research is required, and then what are the tools and techniques that you use to conduct a research. Task 3 is going to be focused on e-marketing, and in this e-marketing, what it is asking you to do is pick up a company or a product, pick up a company and a product in that, and then describe how the company looks at marketing that product using the concept of e-marketing. So here, you could pick up an Apple as a company, look at Samsung as a company, pick up the phone, the Galaxy or the iPhone as a product, and then explain how the company is using e-marketing techniques to basically reach out to consumers. And in the 4th task, what it is asking you to do is basically look at the marketing and a market analysis technique and apply that to a particular product. So when I say market analysis techniques, when I look at things like, which basically talk about, the concept of, say, e-marketing, just sticking to marketing. So here we would look at website maybe as a channel, and with the website as a channel, if I go onto the Apple website, what you will see is if I look onto the Apple website, on the main homepage, they have iPhone as a product, and this is a channel from which they are actually using the website to position the product in the minds of consumers by providing information, providing offers. That is what you need to discuss in activity or task 4. Basically, say for a particular company, you've chosen a particular product, and then you have applied, the marketing analysis technique to be able to see how they are selling it to the consumer. So I hope with this you've understood this particular unit, and if you have any queries and questions, feel free to drop me an email. I will send you a copy of this recording and also the handouts for the Facebook case study and the presentation, which is all available on Moodle, but I will drop you an email as well, just as a subtle reminder that with the completion of this unit, now you need to be able to start to attempt the assignment. So take care, thanks for joining, and I'll catch up with you next week.